The sun had just begun to rise over Abuya, casting golden hues over the city skyline. The air was thick with anticipation. Billboards and posters filled the streets announcing the great interfaith debate, Christianity vs Islam, the true path to salvation. Inside the Grand Unity Conference Hall, technicians adjusted microphones and cameras while attendees streamed in scholars, journalists, clerics, students, and curious citizens. At the center of the stage stood two podiums. If you believe in standing by your faith and values, don't forget to like this video, share with others, and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring and eye-opening stories that bridge faith, humanity, and truth. One for Reverend Daniel Okafor, a renowned Christian apologist, calm yet firm in his faith. The other for Imam Abdurrahman Suleiman, a gentle scholar whose words often disarmed his harshest critics. Reverend Daniel was known for his fiery delivery. He debated across Africa, drawing applause from thousands. Yet this debate felt different. He sensed something uneasy inside, a stillness that unsettled him. Imam Abdurrahman, on the other hand, sat quietly, eyes lowered, fingers moving gently over his prayer beads. His calmness contrasted Daniel's confidence. As the moderator took the stage, he announced, "Ladies and gentlemen, today we witness a meeting of minds, not a clash of egos. Let truth guide us." Applause thundered through the hall. The Reverend began with passion. He quoted verses, made references to the divinity of Christ, and challenged Islamic teachings. The crowd cheered. Cameras zoomed in on his animated gestures. "Reverend Daniel, my friends, salvation is through the cross. It is through faith alone that one can be redeemed. Islam may have noble teachings, but it lacks the assurance of grace." Gasps and murmurs filled the hall. The Imam remained silent, his hands clasped. When it was his turn, the Imam rose slowly. His voice was calm, steady, almost melodic. "Imam Abdurrahman, my brother, we do not debate to win. We speak to understand. Islam does not deny Jesus, peace be upon him. We honor him as a prophet of truth, but salvation is in submission to the one who sent him, the creator of all." He opened the Qur'an and began to recite in Arabic, his voice filling the hall. "L'alati kad tabayana ar-rushdu mina el-ghayy." There is no compulsion in religion. The right path has become distinct from error. Qur'an 2:256. The sound echoed through the speakers. The crowd fell into an almost sacred silence. Reverend Daniel felt his chest tighten. Something about those words pierced deeper than logic or argument. It wasn't just a verse, it was a feeling. The debate concluded politely. No winner was declared. People shook hands, exchanged smiles, and left buzzing with thoughts. But Daniel couldn't shake off the verse. There is no compulsion in religion. That night in his hotel room, he sat on the bed, restless. He opened his Bible, searching for similar words of peace and free will. He found verses that echoed compassion, yet none gave him the same tranquility. He picked up his phone and replayed the video of the debate, listening again and again to the Imam's calm recitation. Tears welled up in his eyes. Daniel whispering, "Why does that verse feel like it's speaking directly to me?" He prayed that night, not as a preacher, but as a seeker. Days passed. Daniel returned to his church in Enugu. During his sermon, he spoke about peace and truth, but his voice lacked conviction. After the service, his assistant, Pastor James, noticed. Pastor James, "Sir, you seem troubled. Is everything okay?" "Daniel, James, do you believe that truth can come from places we least expect?" Pastor James, "Truth is in the Word, Reverend Daniel, but what if? What if God speaks beyond what we already know?" Pastor James was silent. He had never seen his mentor so uncertain. That night, Daniel dreamed. He was walking in a vast desert, thirsty and exhausted. Suddenly, he saw a clear spring of water. As he approached, a voice whispered, "There is no compulsion in religion." And the water turned to light. He woke up trembling, drenched in sweat. Determined to understand, Daniel secretly reached out to Imam Abdurrahman. Their meeting took place in a quiet. On the outskirts of town, the Imam greeted him with warmth. "Imam, Reverend, I didn't expect this honor. Daniel, please call me Daniel. I came not to argue, but to learn." They spoke for hours about faith, free will, the prophets, the oneness of God, and the continuity of divine revelation. Daniel, but Islam? How can it be the final message? Imam, every message came with a purpose. Islam didn't come to erase the past, it came to complete it. Daniel listened silently, absorbing every word. Imam, you know, brother, sometimes God doesn't show us the truth through miracles, but through peace, the peace that settles in the heart when you finally stop resisting. That line stayed with Daniel. News of his meeting with the Imam spread. Church members grew suspicious. Senior church officials called him Bishop, Reverend Daniel. I hear disturbing reports. Are you fraternizing with Muslims? Daniel, Your Grace, I am only seeking understanding. Bishop, understanding can lead to confusion. Be careful. Daniel nodded, but his heart was firm. He began reading the Qur'an secretly, comparing verses with the Bible. He found similarities in compassion, charity, and forgiveness, but one thing stood out, the directness of the Qur'an. It felt pure. Each verse drew him closer, and his prayers became more honest. God, show me the truth, no matter where it leads me. One evening, Daniel attended Friday prayer at the mosque, sitting quietly at the back. The Imam spoke about faith as a journey, not a war. As the call to prayer adhan filled the air, Allahu Akbar, Daniel felt tears streaming down his cheeks. It wasn't emotion, it was surrender. After the prayer, the Imam found him still seated, weeping silently. Daniel, that verse. It broke me, Imam. I don't know why, Imam, because it was never meant to force you, only to free you. And right there, Daniel said the words that changed his life forever, the Shahada softly, with trembling lips. The congregation wept, not out of victory, but months later, Daniel, now brother Abdullah, was seen walking beside Imam Abdurrahman, teaching peace and understanding in communities across Nigeria. In an interview, he said, "Truth doesn't belong to any one man or religion. It belongs to God. And when He calls you, no argument can silence that call." The screen fades to black with the verse, "There is no compulsion in religion. The right path has become distinct from error." Qur'an 2:256.